All right, perfect. Hi, everybody. I'm Kelly. I'm with Green Adventures. It's so nice to see your faces. Um, I am going to bring you on a virtual tour today of our Fire, Ice, and Northern Lights tour. But to start out with, what we like to do is just get everybody to tell us your name, where you're from, and maybe how about we just choose what got you interested in this tour? Um, or anything else that you'd like to share. Maybe if you've been on any other Green Adventures tours or any group tours. So it's not chaos. What I'll do is I'm just going to call out names and you can introduce yourself. So to start with, can we start with Arlie?
Okay. My name is Arlie Champagne. I live in Wisconsin, and I have not gone on a Green Adventures tour. However, I did meet the owner of it at a bow event in Wisconsin a couple years ago. And the reason I'm tuning in today is Iceland is one of my top three places that I want to go.
Awesome. So, Arlie, I think I was at that same event. So I've been a teacher for bow for since 1997.
Okay.
So it's possible that you and I have run across each other as well. So this will be perfect for you. You'll be
Okay.
able to see what there's correlations between the two programs.
Okay.
Okay, so next, Monica.
Hi everyone, I'm Monica. I live in Milwaukee and I've attended many bow workshops. I am attending this meeting today because I actually was signed up to go on the Lagavegr Trek tour with Green Adventures, but then COVID happened that year, and so I did not attend that trip. Unfortunately, had to cancel. And so I really was left with the desire to go to Iceland. So really hoping I can make it happen this year. I see that there's spots still available, and so that's why I decided to attend today.
Yay! Okay, how about Rosemary?
I'm Rosemary. I live in Marquette, Michigan. I've done a lot of BOWs in Michigan and in Wisconsin. The only place I've been out of the country is Canada and the Bahamas. So I'm looking forward to a different adventure.
Awesome. And Rosemary, you're already signed up, right?
Yes, I'm signed up.
Awesome.
So's my daughter, Chris. She's a nurse and she got mandated to stay after. So
No problem. We'll send it to her. Okay, how about Carol?
Hi, my name is Carol. I've been to 3 bow adventures in Wisconsin. The first one was, I don't know if anyway, I went to one that was during the winter and I went dog sledding and snowshoeing. And then I was involved with a deer hunting one. And I've just always enjoyed, well, and then there was a third one. So I just saw the email like a half hour ago and I thought, you know what, I think I'd like to learn a little bit more about the other.
But I knew you were interested.
Cool.
A good chip cheesecake tonight, and then apricot flavored bread pudding. We also have mini
Okay.
Fatinos as well as a special.
Awesome,
and then
Carol.
Full-size jar and little baby ones.
All right.
One of those and
How
another one.
about
Okay.
Julie? Oh, I think you're muted, Julie.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right. I'm Julie Manchesky, and I went on the Iceland tour last year. So I'm here to just give a little information and some tips and things about the trip.
Awesome. So both Julie and Trish, I'm going to introduce next, have been on the tour, and we'll keep them on this Zoom as long as possible. But since they've already done it, they might end early. But if you guys have anything to add at any point, feel free to chime in. We always love to get the perspective of people who have already been on the tour. Yeah, so I'm excited to have you guys here. All right, Trish, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Trisha. I'm from Wausau, Wisconsin, and I went on this trip last year and I met Julie on the trip. I didn't know her before the trip.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. I'm so glad you could join us. I am also in Wisconsin, so we are pretty Wisconsin strong here. I think we only have one Michigander. That's okay. So we usually have a strong contingency from Wisconsin and around that area because the Becoming an Outdoors Woman program is so strong in Wisconsin. So it's nice to see you all. And like I said, I've been teaching for the bow program since 1997. So those of you who have been to bow programs, you might have seen me at one of them as well. But now you get to see me in one of my other positions and jobs, which I love dearly, which is the Green Adventures program. And I would love to share a little bit about Green Adventures and about what we do and what we're going to do on this trip and take you on a little virtual tour, try and get you to imagine and see and experience some of the things that we do on tour. So with that, I am going to share my screen. So here's a little bit about Kelly, your trip leader for this. Kelly is really, really good at gardening and nature things, but technology is not my strong point. So I'm going to try really, really hard to share my screen with you. So bear with me if it doesn't work right away. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Do you also see the rest of us up and down the side? The rest
No.
of the people? Doesn't matter.
I
As
see the
long as
rest,
you
I
can
see
see
the
my
rest of you
screen.
at the top.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I think it depends on the settings that you have. Okay. Wonderful. So, oh, I might be buffering a little bit for some of you. Our internet connection has been pretty unstable in central Wisconsin as of recently. So if that happens, I apologize. Just hang in there and it'll start again. So with that, welcome webinar about our Iceland Fire, Ice, and Northern Lights 2025 tour. We have 2 tour dates this year. One is November 4th through 9th, and that one is confirmed. And the other one is no before we can confirm it. For the webinar today, we're hoping to learn a little bit about Green Adventures, what to expect on a Green Adventures tour, a virtual tour of Iceland, and then also answer any questions that you might have. Our mission with Green Adventures is to help people fall in love with wild places through extraordinary through ecotourism. And where do we take you? Green Adventures goes all over the world. We go from Alaska all the way to Peru. And a lot of Iceland trips, mostly because our owner, Tara, is absolutely in love with Iceland and develops some pretty phenomenal trips with our partners there. We go all over. Some of the places. I'm the trip leader for our Roatan, Hawaii, Costa Rica, Baja, Mexico. Where else? I do also do some of the Wisconsin tours. We've done tours in Bayfield. We go all over the place. Now, how do we do it? Well, it all starts with a dream and a love for adventure. It's built on long-standing relationships with local partners. Well, we work with people who are experts in the area. We're never just going to send someone in that area who isn't doesn't have any local connections. But when you go there, you're getting actual cultural and deep connections with people who are from that area and are experts in the area. And it's designed. We're beginner friendly with expert support. So what that means is that if you'll see, for example, on this tour, you'll see something like ice climbing. And what that means is that it's meant for everybody to be successful, even if that just means step, or whether it means going up the entire ice wall. So we gear it so everyone can be successful on these tours, no matter what your activity level is. And then you're going to have the support of your tour leader, which is me, your guide, and then other experts in the area. Our adventures are in wild, off the beaten path places, and sometimes that means that you're going to be way out in the middle of the rainforest where the closest town is 45 minutes away, like in Costa Rica. Or sometimes that means like in Iceland, where we're going to be staying in hotels that have heat and running water and delicious food, but are surrounded by nature, because when you're in Iceland, you're surrounded in nature no matter where you are. Every trip supports local conservation efforts, which is near and dear to the Green Adventures heart, so that you know that when you're going on these trips that we are supporting the local people where we're going to enjoy these places. Well, we're passionate educators and explorers, protecting wild places and biodiversity through nature. We're inspired by your, and I think part of what you'll see on these tours, for those of you who have not been on these tours, and maybe I can get Trish to jump in here, is that you're gonna bit nervous to join a group tour because you're not quite so sure about how it is, how the other people that are on it. But what you're going to find the world on these tours. Trish, can you speak to that at all?
Sure. So I joined Iceland last year I joined the Iceland tour because I had decided I wanted to go to Iceland and I couldn't get any friends to go. And so I stumbled upon this Green Adventures online. And I was super nervous to go by myself. I didn't know anybody when I left. I ended up chatting with Kelly and she assured me I'd be just fine. And I had my reservations, but I truly was just fine. I didn't know my roommate. I didn't meet her until we arrived at the airport. Julie, who is on this call, I didn't know her at all. She lives 30 minutes south of me. And it was like I had been friends with all of these gals all my life. Like I didn't feel awkward at all. And like we could talk about anything. I became really good friends with some people on the tour. And in fact, I'm going to Las Vegas with one of them in 2 weeks. And I didn't know her at all. She's from Georgia. So you really Kelly really helped make sure that you were paired up with a good roommate and that you, like, all your skill levels were accounted for. Some people on our trip couldn't even walk on a glacier. Some people were avid hikers, and then everybody else was in between. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Julie, I'm going to tap you here too as well. So Julie got to come with her bestie. And so we get a wide range of people where you might not know anybody on the trip, or you might be coming with so we've had tours where we have mothers, daughters, and grandmothers all on the same tour. Um, and so Julie got to come with her bestie, but I think um, maybe you can speak to this, Julie, and how was it when you got to know the rest of the people on the tour?
Yeah, so I did come with my best friend, and we did room together, but we didn't spend all our together. We, we'd meet up at night and stuff like that too, and of course, ran the tour together. But we also spent time with the other ladies on the trip. When you're out hiking, we both hike at different speeds and we're different levels of hiking. So we hiked with other people, and we really got to know everybody that way. Never once did we feel uncomfortable around anybody. We had a blast. It was just a lot of fun. We all bonded. Nobody even had any arguments. Nothing was out of place. It was great.
Yeah, it was a really, really cool group of people. It's such it's really that is probably the most special part about my job is that I get to meet all of these really amazing, incredible, inspiring people from all around the world, and then hear your stories. And I guess that really that's really special to me. I really, really enjoy meeting everybody and getting to know you. And so even if you don't know anybody else, now you would know me for sure. You already met me on the Zoom call, so don't let that be any sort of obstacle to you. So why, in continuation, why we do what we do, we believe in shared experiences in nature, create connections, memories, and a drive to protect our planet. So being an ecotourism company, we never want to do anything that's going to harm the places that we visit. And we want to really inspire you to love and appreciate these places as much as we love and appreciate these places. Um, and I think that that really comes through in our tours, how much we really do love these places, because no matter whether we're seeing something for the first time or the 50th time, you're going to see us be awed and still see it through your eyes as well, which is also another part of being a tour leader is that I got to experience it my very first time and I love seeing it again, but I also love seeing our participants see these things for the first time and get to hear the oohs and the ahs and hopefully express through these experiences why we love the places that we love. Our promise to you is that you're going to travel solo, but not alone. And I think Julie and Trisha both really hit on that when they talked. That even though you can be solo on this trip, you're never going to be alone. Now, does that mean that you're going to be really uh, in constant contact with all of these people and feel like you're crowded or constantly engaged with everybody? Absolutely not. You can take your time to walk privately on the trail or do some activities where you're not right in the middle of the group. So don't feel like you're ever going to be inundated with people, but also know that you're not going to be traveling alone on this. There's going to be what really becomes a family all around you. We also guide you every step of the way. So, from packing lists to entry requirements and even travel tips. We're going to help you from the moment you sign up for this tour and even before that in programs like today, where we're going to be talking about the different places that we visit. And we're also going to connect you with your adventure buddies before you go. So we'll set up a WhatsApp when we send you your confirmation letter so that you can talk to the rest of the people who are going to be on your tour. And a lot of time that's really helpful in when, say, we have a lot of people flying from Wisconsin. A lot of times you end up all on the same flight or flying through similar airports. And so you can help one another on those things or say, hey, let's meet in this area and we'll catch a coffee before we get on the flight. Or does anybody want to carpool from central Wisconsin to Minneapolis or Chicago? And our team welcomes and supports you 24/7 on these tours. So, I am literally available 24 hours a day. Everybody has my contact information and knows where my room is. And if you wake up in the middle of the night not feeling well, or you have questions, or you might have, if by chance you have a problem with your roommate, anything like that, you can contact me 24 hours a day and I will be there to help you. We're here for you, whether it's illnesses or accidents, or even if there's issues that you're concerned about at home. We are there for you every step of the way. So we like to say you are supported from takeoff to farewell. So who is Kelly? Well, I'm your trip leader, and I've got 25 years of environmental education experience behind me, of guiding and trip leading. And for those of you who have the Becoming an Outdoors Women connection, I've been an instructor for the bow program since 1997. And I've held jobs within the program from the advisory committees to running banquets to even being the Wisconsin coordinator. I'm a dive master, a kayak instructor. I teach about foraging and all sorts of things in between there. And I'm a general wanderer. And we talked about the trips that I've led before to Costa Rica, Roatan, Hawaii, Iceland, Baja, Isle Royale, Trinidad, Tobago. So it's possible that if I don't see you on this trip, I might see you on a different trip. We're proud to be partnering with the Becoming an Outdoors Woman program on this journey. And then you'll also see that we partner with Bo on quite a few of our women's destinations. And oh, I see some people that I recognize on this. So Julie and Trish are on this photo. On a couple of them. So where are we going on this tour? Well, we're going to Iceland, and which is a Nordic island country between the North Atlantic and the Arctic Oceans. It's located on the mid-Atlantic ridge between North America and Europe. It's on the continent of Europe, and its surface area is about 103,000 kilometers. The capital of Iceland is Reykjavik, and they speak the language Icelandic. The currency is the krona, and right now, I just looked this up today, one US dollar equals about 120 Icelandic krona. And when are we going? This tour is so popular, we're offering it twice, so you can choose from 2 different dates to come. What are we doing? This is what you've all been waiting for. Oh, buckle up for your virtual tour because it's about to begin. And perhaps you'll learn a little Icelandic along the way. Now, I am going to fully disclose to you that when I am pronouncing Icelandic words, I have to go slow because they are extremely complicated to people who have learned English first. But we're going to give it a shot. And when you see on the bottom, you'll see I have it sorted out phonetically. You can try them out too. So the Women's Fire, Ice, and Northern Lights adventure, we're going to be touring the south coast of Iceland. Your days are going to be filled with exciting, breathtaking scenery, and your nights are spent gazing into the Arctic sky, hopefully to see the aurora borealis. So, first day, what happens on your very first day on our itinerary? Your guide, Inga, you'll see Inga next to me by the Green Adventures logo up there in the yellow jacket. She is phenomenal. You are going to absolutely adore this woman. She is fun and funny and knowledgeable and inspiring and just absolutely lovely to be around. I see Julie shaking her head like, yeah, she really is. Julie, do you want to talk a little bit about Inga? I mean, I can tell you, like, she's one of my dear friends. I just absolutely adore her. But what did you think about Inga as a guide, Julie?
She was great. She made us feel comfortable in her country. We learned so much from her. She's very, I mean, she's lived there her whole life, so she knows everything about the country. She's funny. She kept, she could tell us all kinds of stories as we're driving around in between locations. And then she spent the evenings with us too, just hanging out and, telling stories. She's so amazing.
She's
She
super
she
fun.
makes the trip. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Fun. Yep.
Because she was born and raised in Iceland, and so she is just phenomenally knowledgeable. She's also an author, and I think this is part of what bonded Inga and I is that she wrote a book about wild edibles, which is one of my specialties. So, of course, I adore her. So Inga and we meet you at the airport and we pick you up in what they call the bus. Usually it's just a large travel van. Sometimes it's a really large van where we fit the luggage inside the van, and sometimes it's a travel bus where we tow a trailer. It depends on how big our group is. We meet you at the airport, which is about 45 minutes away from Reykjavik. We pick you up there as a group and we travel into Reykjavik. And then what we do is we stop at the hotel where we stay overnight, which is the Exeter Hotel. And you can drop your luggage off there. We can't check in because you're arriving really early in the morning. Usually we were getting there between like around 7 o'clock in the morning. So they have lockers, secured lockers that are behind their front desk, where you can put in a code and have access to it all day. And so we drop off our luggage, and then you can go out and either explore Reykjavik on your own or in small groups with your new adventure buddies or with me. And there are some really, really fun, cool things to do there. Lots of activities that you can choose to do there. And I couldn't possibly cover them all right now, but if you need suggestions, I'm willing to give you suggestions. Then, after your day of exploring, we meet back together in early afternoon and we have a group meeting before we go out to dinner. And basically, at this group meeting, we just talk about expectations of the tour. Things from being a good how to ride well on the bus to how to pack and what to wear during the day to what we'll be doing, any changes that have happened in the itinerary, how to contact one another, just a group meeting. And then you get to meet everybody that's going to be on the tour with you and spending the next 6 days with you. And you go to bed and to be up bright and early for day 2. And our first stop is Thingvellir. So say that with me. Thingvellir. So see how I have to go pretty slow for that? National Park, where we get to walk through the fissures of the mid-Atlantic Ridge and the walk through the dramatic fissures of the mid-Atlantic Ridge where the North American and the European tectonic plates meet. So you can literally see the tectonic plate of Europe on one side and North America on the other side. We literally hold hands and kind of put our arms between where you can see the first picture is of two Bessies that came on the program, and they're actually pointing to two different tectonic plates, which I think is just super, super cool. And then you also see the UNESCO World Heritage Site where Iceland's parliament was founded over 1,000 years ago. It's a pretty cool experience. Our second stop is one of my absolute favorites, and you go to Frithheimar. Frithheimar. Can you say that? Frithheimar. So look at how it's spelled and then how you say it is totally different. That's why this language is really extremely challenging. But it's a greenhouse. And being a gardener myself, I think that this is one of the coolest places to stop because it's a fully enclosed greenhouse where they use the hot water that's cycled from underneath the crust at in Iceland is volcanic water, and so it's really hot, and it cycles through this greenhouse, and so it's fully enclosed, and they grow these phenomenal tomatoes there. And they're the longest vines that I've ever seen. I'm actually taking practices that I learned in Iceland last year into my garden this year to try and grow vertical tomatoes. So real long tomatoes that are strung up on a pole. But basically, you learn about how they grow the tomatoes there, and we have the most phenomenal soup I've ever had in my life, which is their tomato soup from the tomatoes that they grow there with fresh basil that you can pick off the table. And then they have usually 3 to 4 different hearty breads. The cool thing about this place is that they have it growing year round because of the hot water that can keep things from not being frozen that circulate throughout the greenhouse. But because it's enclosed, they have to have a way to pollinate those plants. And so they have their very own honeybees within the greenhouse. So you can see, you get a little tour there of how they grow things. You get to see the honeybees, and then you get to taste some of the awesome things that they have there. And they even have other things that you can order off the menu, like tomato ice cream. Trish, I think so I hope you're not in the middle of paying for your dinner right now, Trish. Julie, I'm not sure if you had any of this either, but
No, I'm just eating
some
my
of us
dinner.
had some of the other things that they have there. Did either of you have the tomato ice cream?
I did.
No,
Yeah,
I
was it
don't.
good?
I don't remember. I don't like tomatoes, so I ate the bread.
Okay. Julie, you had it?
Yeah, Christy and I shared it. It was really good. It was like green tomato something, but it had like a lavender and a basil flavor to it. It
Mm.
was so good. And it
Yeah,
came in
and
a
you can
cute
get,
little terracotta pot.
aw, yeah, there's other desserts, and then you can get I know that there's like Virgin Marys or Bloody Marys. Being our Wisconsin girlies, we're hardcore into our Bloody Marys, so you can get those there as well.
I
I
remember
just
eating dessert though. I don't remember what I ate, but I remember eating dessert.
Yeah, it's usually a lot of times people order like a thing of 3 different desserts, and and then other people around the table order desserts, and so everybody shares, and you get to try all kinds of cool tomato products. And sometimes you'll get some of the honey products that they have there too. Okay, so then we visit Gulfas, where we marvel in the raw power of this iconic golden waterfall, where glacial water, it thunders down into 2 different tiers into a rugged canyon. And let me tell you what, when you walk up to this waterfall, you think you're seeing it all when you first come upon it, and you're seeing just basically the first tier. And it is like the Grand Canyon on steroids, or not Grand Canyon, I'm sorry. What waterfall am I thinking? I'm blanking out on what waterfall it is. Our giant waterfall that is,
Niagara Falls.
there we go, Niagara, good Lord. Um, Between Canada and the US. So it's like Niagara, but then on steroids. So you're seeing just tiers and tiers and tiers of this. And then as you walk down into it, into the second parking lot where we get picked up by the bus, you see a whole nother tier of these waterfalls. It's phenomenal. Just the power of this waterfall is amazing. And then we go to Strucker. Strucker. It's a geyser. And so we watch this famous geyser. It erupts about every 10 to 15 minutes, and it can shoot steam and water up to about 120 feet in the air. And one of the things I really like about Strucker is there are these pools around it where all of this mineral rich water kind of gathers onto the soil and creates these like crystal clear, it's almost otherworldly uh, mineral deposits. It's really super beautiful. Then in the late afternoon, we take relaxation to the next level and we go to the Secret Lagoon, which is your first experience into the geothermal pools of Iceland. And what's neat about this one is that you can float around on little pool noodles and if you go back towards where that little hut is, the water is hotter than if you were to go up front where this boardwalk is. So you kind of choose your level of heat. And I think there's a little, isn't there a little fountain on this one too, Trisha? I think you went under a little fountain on this one where there's a little, like a little waterfall that comes on it. But it's really nice because you've been adventuring out in the wind and it can be a little bit chilly. Sometimes it's a little rainy. And so even if it's rainy or snowy, you can be out into the open air where there's like snowflakes or ice crystals forming on your hair, and you're um, underneath this warm, protective, awesome layer of the geothermal pools. It's a really, really neat experience. A lot of times when we're here, we can watch the sunset go down before we go to our hotel. And then that night, we go to the hotel and have a phenomenal dinner. All of the meals are phenomenal in Iceland. And we watch for the Northern Lights. On the third day, we go to Seljalandsfoss, Seljalandsfoss waterfall to begin the day. And what is special about this waterfall is that you can actually walk behind it. So if you look on the picture to the right, you'll see like a boardwalk. So there's a trail where we come out of the parking lot, we take this little trail, and we literally go around the back side of the waterfall. And you can see it thundering down in front of you, and the spray is spraying you. And then you walk around to where there's a little stream and cross over a bridge and back into the parking lot. So you get to see the sunrise here behind the perspective of a waterfall, which is absolutely almost a spiritual thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to visit. So you get to really see a waterfall in 360 degrees, which is pretty special. Then, after a short drive, we go to another waterfall because there is no shortage of gorgeous waterfalls in Iceland. And so we go to Skogafoss, which is a massive waterfall. What's neat about Skogafoss is that a lot of times the sun hits it just right and it throws these really beautiful rainbows all over the place. But it's just a massive wall of water that comes down, just surrounded in really beautiful areas. You're going to see it, right in the beginning of coming into this, there's sheep that are grazing all over in a farm, and you come through just beautiful area to get there. The entire drive in Iceland, because we drive pretty much the Golden Circle, is it's it's intense. It's just so remarkably beautiful. Every single moment, you're like, I don't know how this could get any better. And everybody is up against the windows, like, did you see this? Did you see this? Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Did you? Oh my gosh, there's a waterfall coming up, and it's a really really beautiful beautiful place. Then next in the afternoon. So this is one that I have to pronounce really slowly because it's a tongue tire. So it's Solheimajukut Glacier. And it's also known as the Sunhome Glacier. So we get ropes and harnesses and ice axes, and we work with expert ice climbing guides, and we literally climb up and onto this glacier. Then, if you want to, you can actually climb up an ice wall. So there's times when you're walking and literally walking across a crevasse on this, and then we go across and then down into a little area where you can try ice climbing. And this is pretty special because you really get to see the camaraderie of the group on this activity because everyone is absolutely cheering for and going bananas for everyone else in the group. And like I said, it doesn't matter whether you just put the tip of your ice cleats in and don't go up the wall at all, or you go all the way up to the top. Everyone is cheering for you. And if you're really lucky, Inga will feed you chocolate by hand because you get a little chilly and hungry while you're there. And Inga always brings some sort of special treat, whether it's chocolate or some other treat. Um, I know that some people get a little bit nervous about this one because they're like, how am I gonna ice climb a glacier? But like I said in the beginning, we really gear our activities toward for everyone, and we make it accessible to everybody. So whether you do just a little bit or you take it to the whole maximum and climb up that wall, you're gonna have support and people there who are experts in it. Then our last stop of the day is at Fara, which is the famous black sand beach there. And it is one of the most photogenic places that I've ever been. You're going to be there about sunset, where you're looking out into this just dynamic surf, and the waves are enormous. And you're going to see on one side these just giant basalt columns, and then to the other side, all of these basalt formations. It's really, really beautiful. One thing that we have to do when we're here is you have to be really careful because you can never turn your back to the sea because there are sneaker waves that come out where they're just regular waves and then all of a sudden there's just a ginormous one. So we always make sure that people are safe on this and tell you how to visit this place. But it's just absolutely breathtaking. Reynisfara. In the evening, we get to go to the hotel and have a meal together, and then hopefully the northern lights come out. If you are tired from the day and you don't want to sit up and watch for the northern lights, all of the hotels offer a call service. So you can go to sleep. Usually people are pretty tired from a really jam-packed days. And then you can get put on the call list so that you get a call when the northern lights come out. And then everybody puts a jacket on over their pajamas and runs out the door. And you can go and play under the northern lights. Our trip last year, which both Julie and Trish were on, was a really good year for the Northern Lights. We had a couple really active nights. On day 4, we go on a 4-wheel drive journey to Vetnanyukul Glacier. And we walk across the glacier. You go through this 4-wheel drive in these big, gigantic vans. And then you can go and see ice caves. Now, the ice caves change from year to year because of glacial warming, or I'm sorry, global warming. And that's just the nature of ice. It ebbs and flows. And so every year it's going to be a different place that we go to. But when we go into the ice caves, as you'll see on the right here, it's just this gorgeous blue, bright blue color. The the whole adventure is pretty spectacular. From going out in these giant vans with these huge wheels to hiking across the glacier to going through the ice cave. And it's really a breathtaking relic of the last ice age because these glaciers have been on there since the last ice age. In the lagoon, we visit one of Vetnjanjokel's serene glacier lagoons, where we watch as towering icebergs drift towards the ocean, carrying seals and seabirds along for the ride. And we get to visit Diamond Beach, which are sparkling pieces of iceberg that have broken off. We saw a video of one of the seals that we saw last year. And I'll show you the video, and you can hear Tara talking about the difference between a sea lion and a seal. You can see it just kind of floating there.
Lions walk around, or seals will like undulate up and down. Can't walk on.
You'll see this video kind of pans out. So you're seeing it's focused on the seal right now. And then it's going to pan out and you're going to get a picture to be able to see how the icebergs are floating and how beautiful they are. What she was saying, it's kind of hard to tell here on that video, but she's saying the difference between sea lions and seals is that sea lions kind of walk with their front fins, and seals, I hate to do an imitation, but they kind of just like push themselves along with their whole body. So as the day winds down, we return to our cozy hotel, and if the skies are clear, we get to see the northern lights. And it's kind of like just when the day seems like it can't get any better, Lady Aurora puts on a show. We had so much fun in these pictures on this night, taking pictures and doing different things under the northern lights. It was really a special time. All right, buckle up for day 5 because it is pretty spectacular and one of the craziest, most fun days I think you'll ever have in your life. So we go on a ride in these UTVs, the 2 people in each one, and one person drives on the way out and one person drives on the way back, or some people choose not to drive at all. But you go through rivers and across the black sand beach and uncover hidden gems, including a plane wreck, and go through a breathtaking hidden canyon where there's just moss and this beautiful river that goes through. It's fun, fast paced, and it lets you experience Iceland's raw beauty from a whole new perspective. You have to be prepared to get a little bit of muddy and laugh a lot. It is really super fun. And I'm going to show you a video of one of our people from last year. That's Chris, or no, I'm sorry, that's Stephanie, the driver. And she was a little bit of a maniac for Laura, who didn't like to get very dirty. And Laura is laughing, going bananas because Stephanie went through this puddle. And you get dirty and messy, and it's awesome. But you get to see you're in charge. You're driving the buggy, and so that's kind of neat from riding along from Inga the whole week. And it's really a sensory experience. The cool air, the splashes from all of the puddles, driving through all of the different areas, and the areas that we drive through are just vastly different. It's hard to even explain it, to put to words. So after that, later in the afternoon, we unwind the Icelandic way and we go to one of the local outdoor pools. And there's no pictures of that because there's no cameras allowed. But you get to soak in one of those geothermal pools again and reflect on the last couple days and kind of wash off some of the dirt because you do need to wash off some of the dirt. And you're surrounded by this crisp, fresh air. Sometimes it's snowing and snowflakes are there. And in this pool, there's a really hot area, a medium hot area, and then there's a cold plunge as well. And Inga is glad to walk you through those different steps. She's really good at taking people. If you've never done a cold plunge before, it's really good for your health. It's really good for inflammation. And Inga is really, really spectacular at talking you through breath work to be able to work yourself into going into that really ice cold water. Then we head back into Reykjavik, the capital again, for our celebratory dinner. And it's kind of a sad one because it's our last farewell dinner together. And you can see the owner of the company, Tara, giving a toast to everybody here. And one of the things that was special that happened on last year's trip was everybody got wool mittens while they were there because you can't go to Iceland without getting something wool. It's the best wool in the world. And everybody has their hands in here showing all of the different beautiful wool mittens that they got. And we get to kind of reminisce and share a beverage and have our dinner and talk about all of the fun times and how we're all going to stay connected and promise to visit one another. But on the last day, day 6, our final morning, it's really very special. You visit the Sky Lagoon in Reykjavik. It's the newest lagoon and spa, and you go through the 7-step ritual. And in this, you go through the powers of Iceland's natural elements through a series of warm water soaks, cold plunges, steam rooms, saunas, and the refreshing cool air. And you can see here how absolutely beautiful this spot is. On the right is the entrance area to get into the area where you do the 7 steps. There's a salt scrub and steams and an area where you go in and it's totally silent and you overlook the Iceland's landscape and kind of nature bathe and take in just this beautiful, serene, special place. And go through the 7 steps there. It's a really good way to kind of ease your muscles after walking on glaciers all week, and a good way to kind of frame yourself before you go back home and spend it with your sisters that you spent the week with, doing all of these really special things. The last thing we do is we drop you off at the airport and make sure that you get checked in at your gates and your luggage is good. And we leave, everyone's flights usually leave around 1:30 in the afternoon. So we literally pick you up at the airport and we drop you off at the airport. So you don't have to worry about anything on your travels with us. So what's included on this tour is your tour leader, which is me, 24/7 support from day 1 to day 6. Your Icelandic driver and guide, which is Inga. Your meals, every meal except for one lunch. Your group airport transfer, lodging, and all of the described activities. But what's not included is your airfare. You have to get yourself to and from Iceland. If you need help getting hooked up with the airport, everybody pretty much flies Icelandic Air. We can help you with that. And we recommend that everybody get travel insurance. That's also on your own. And there's gratuities. It's a $250 minimum. But throughout the tour, if you want to give additional gratuities to any of the people that are providing service to us, you're welcome to do that. One lunch isn't included, and then your personal spending money. And what does the trip cost? So this tour is $4,625. And Tara, for Green Adventures, you can do this in different increments. It's a really seamless, nice process. We have a whole group of a team that works with you on everything from how to pay to how to dress from beginning to end. And if you're someone that is worried about rooming with someone else, you can also do an upgrade to get a single room on this. Some people choose to do that. And with that, wow, we are on time, 6:59. I'm going to open it up for anybody who has questions or has any comments. And then also direct you to, if you haven't already signed up and would like to sign up, you can go to greenadventures.com to do that. Do any of you have any questions?
I do. Since most of you, it sounds like, are coming from Wisconsin, are you flying out of O'Hare?
People do both. So I've done O'Hare and I've done Minneapolis. It depends on where you can get the best rate, and it depends on where in Wisconsin you're coming from.
I'm coming
But
from the UP of Michigan. So when
okay.
I looked, it looked like a metro out of Detroit, but we could probably do O'Hare. Is that what you would recommend so we can kind of get together?
You know, it depends on where the rest of the group is coming from. You would probably get a hopper flight from where you are in Michigan over to either O'Hare or Minneapolis. The flights from our area usually leave from those main hubs, and we'll have usually a big group leaving from both of those airports. And we can hook you up with the other people in the trip who are coming through that area. I know that Trish and I flew together and we went through Minneapolis. Julie, did you guys do Chicago or did you do Minneapolis?
We through Chicago.
Okay, so you'll have people who go through both of those areas. And we'll have literally people from all over the country. So it depends on where you're coming from. And I can't really give you a recommendation on which one you would go through. Usually it's just based on price and availability.
So I've not done this before. I have a few other silly questions probably.
No, there's no silly question, Rosemary. There's absolutely no silly question.
As
Ask
far
away.
as like phone chargers and, charging your camera, is their electricity different than ours in the US? Do you have to have a converter?
You have to have a converter. So, although some of the places do have US plugs now, am I saying that wrong? It's a cheap converter. You can usually get it off of Amazon. Walmart sells them too, and it's a two-prong plug. So that's a great question. Basically, you hook it into the converter, and then you can plug your regular phone outlet into that. Not
Okay.
silly at all.
And other stuff, I think you covered what to pack and what to do to preparing clothing. What about money? Is there an
So usually.
exchange, or how do we do that part?
So you can exchange money, but 99.9% of Iceland runs off of your credit card. You almost never have to use their actual currency, the kroners. Uh, I think every single place that we go to accepts credit card, and if you want to exchange some money, you can do it right at the airport, or you can do it ahead of time, sometimes through your bank.
Okay, and I could do either credit card. Can we do like a travel card too? Would they take that?
Yeah, for sure. Any sort of credit card system.
Sounds like that's easier than cash then.
I usually do convert some money into cash just in case I'm in a taxi and I want to leave a tip. But even there's going to be like a little promo code where you can leave a tip. Or maybe they have phenomenal hot dogs there, which sounds weird because for us in the Midwest, like a hot dog, but they're amazing. They're so good. And sometimes at some of the little hot dog places, you'll want to pay cash for that, but you'll need very,
Kelly,
very
the hot dog
little.
stands take credit cards.
They do, yeah, almost all of, yeah, yeah. Trish and I hit up some,
And the
Trish and
hot
I
dog was
traveled.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's funny to say that, but you cannot go through Iceland without having one of their hot dogs. They're really, really good.
Where do we get the money? Do we bring like US currency and exchange it here, or when we get there, or how do
Yeah,
you?
you can get it right at the airport. So just bring whatever amount you want in your spending money. And when you land in Reykjavik, there's a currency exchange place right there, right near the baggage claim.
Oh,
And we'll
perfect.
walk you through all of that. And you get a really, an extensive document from us before the trip. And we'll literally walk you through all of that step by step.
Thank you.
You bet.
Kelly, I'm going to sign off. Do you guys, does
Okay.
anybody have any questions for me?
Thank you so much for joining us for this, Trish. It brings up so many
You
good
bet.
memories.
Oh, it sure does. And I'm just, whoever asked the money question, I always convert cash. And on this trip, I didn't. And there was absolutely no reason to. I didn't need it.
Yeah.
I'm going to sign off too.
Thank you so much, Julie.
Yeah. But I just want to let you know too, anybody that's thinking about going, the whole trip is planned out. So if you're someone that travels and you get anxiety trying to plan your trip because you want to, make sure you hit everything, this is completely planned out for you. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is get up in the morning, eat your breakfast, and jump on the bus and head out. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Kind of takes
plan
the
what to wear
stress
and that's it. Yep.
takes the stress and anxiety out of things. That's a great point.
Exactly. Yep.
Thanks, Julie and Trish, for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And hope everybody goes. It's an amazing trip.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No question, Kelly. Just, I want to say thank you so much. I'm going to consider this seriously. I've been on I've been on a cruise in Honduras and Mexico. I've been to Tonga. I had a friend that was in the Peace Corps and spent 10 days in Tonga with some of the same types of elements and adventure. So this would be new for me though. I mean, I snowshoe and I love the winter, but this is something that would be new. So thank you
Yeah.
so much.
You're so welcome. It's super unique from all of those different things that you just explained. But it sounds like it's right up your alley if you've done all of that traveling already, Carol.
I've been to, like I said, I've been to 3 bows and it was fabulous.
So this is structured very similarly
Yes.
to Bow in that it's really supportive, women's strong atmosphere. There's a lot of love and support that goes into all of the planning and efforts for these tours. Well, I
Well,
hope
thank
to
you.
see you. I hope to see you on this.
Yeah, I'll probably email you at some point and then I'd like to request a brochure too. So I
Absolutely.
will go to the website.
Yeah, go to the website and my email is on here. It's just kelly@greenadventures.com. So
I've
if you have
already
any
written it down.
questions, you feel free to hit me up. If you don't think of it now and tonight you're going to go to bed and you're like, oh, I should ask Kelly this. Feel free to send me an email or contact me.
Thank you, Kelly, so much.
You're so welcome.
Okay, I know.
Monica, you've been quiet. Do you have any questions?
No, I think mostly because like I was so ready to go on my trip in 2020. I was like already like breaking in my hiking boots and everything. And it was just a failed
Yeah.
launch. But and of course I've been on many, many bows, and I know you and I trust you, and I know Tara like through emails, and I've spoken with
Yeah.
her on the phone. So I trust you guys. So I know it's going to be a good trip. It's just a matter of organizing the funds now and just being able to like coordinate the timing to be able to maybe that later date I think would work best for my calendar, just making it happen. What is the deadline though for signing up? I know it's still not confirmed for that later date, but what is the deadline for
I
signing up
don't
to
think
get
there
that
is a
confirmed?
deadline.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I actually started a new job. So I just started it this week. So I need to ask
Oh,
for
wow.
vacation. It's like on my second day, can I have off in
That's so funny
November? But
because Trish, who was on this call, she actually was starting her new job the day we got back. So yeah, you're not alone with having new job and
yeah.
in this group of people.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, yep. So I definitely I need to just like organize my thoughts around it. I really want to go, and oh, wonderful pictures, and I want to congratulate you on your pronunciation throughout the
I'm
thing,
so
because I
slow.
agree with you. That's a hard language. It's
Oh
tough.
man, it's so challenging.
Yeah, it is. When I was getting ready for the trip back in 2020, I bought a like learn Icelandic like
uh,
book, and boy oh boy it's a tough one.
it is. It's such a mouthful for me. I have to go really slow or I just butcher it.
Ah, well, and it's not like a phonetic language. You can't just like read it and like oh, I can sound it out. No, you cannot.
Yeah, 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 it's crazy. And you'll hear
Yeah.
Inga speaks just ch. And
Oh,
you
awesome.
gotta
She
slow
sounds
down for
really
me so
cool.
that I can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't wait to
awesome.
meet her.
Yeah, she's really cool. Well, I
Yeah.
hope you can join us.
Awesome.
That would be really,
Yeah,
really
thank you
good.
so much. All
Yeah,
right,
thank
Kelly,
you.
thanks so much. Have a
All
good
right.
night.
Good night.
Bye.
Rosemary, you have anything to ask?
Not
Or
that I
you?
can think of right now. I know, I think from what I understand, you're covering a lot. Like, I want to go on a shopping trip and get the right winter clothing, that kind of stuff. But I'll wait for your list. And then
Okay,
Chris and I got to figure out a flight. So,
no problem. And I can help you. You have my email now, so I can help you through any of that. Feel free to reach out and I can help you gear you towards a good flight. And then also I can help you with choosing your winter gear as well.
oh, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
you're
guess
welcome.
thanks for the presentation. It's very
You're
informative.
so welcome. All right, thanks so much.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.